If you ask any student what kind of music they prefer to play, fast or slow, the answer for sure will be fast. Hello, my name is Alexandra. Welcome to my lesson. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of studying slow and lyrical pieces, especially with the young students. And in this video, I will share some secrets of how to make your students sound like professionals. So today let's look into this beautiful piece by Robert Schumann. It's from album For the Young and it's called First Laws. This piece is very beautiful. It's in a minor key and it's slow paced, and one of the goals would be, when we study this piece with a student, is to play it emotionally, to really engage his or her students' feelings and emotions. But besides that, when we study lyrical pieces, it really helps us to develop some of the most fundamental and the most important skills for a professional pianist. And the skills are legato, right, to be able to play connecting each note, attention to the sound, really listening to yourself, paying attention. And a third thing is phrasing, right? How do we phrase? How do we build those musical sentences? And actually, in regard to phrasing, it could be even easier to work on that when we play slow pieces, because you simply have more time in order to build, to start the phrase, to build it, and to finish it. Let's listen to this piece. I'm a big fan of storytelling during my lessons. I think it really engages the kids and help them to connect with the music on emotional level. So when talking about this first laws and its character, I think it's a great opportunity to discuss Robert Schumann's and his beloved wife's Clara, their relationship and the story of their love. Clara and Robert met when Clara was only 8 years old. It's unbelievable, right? Schumann was 17 at that time. He went to listen to her first concert, public concert, and he was so amazed by the maturity and sound quality of her playing that he went straight to her father, who happened to be her teacher, and completely forgot about his plans to actually become a lawyer. And he thought, okay, I'm just going to become a pianist. I'm so in love with the piano and with the instrument. And so he talked to Clara's father and asked him, begged him to accept him in his class as a pianist. Clara's father said, okay, that's okay, young man. And so Schumann became a student, and he would always come to Clara's home, and the two became friends. And a few years later, it turned out that they are in love, when Clara was about 17 years old and Schumann was 26. As soon as they both realized that they love each other, they wanted to get married. But of course, Clara's father was not happy about this decision, and he was so furious, in fact, because at that time Clara was really a true superstar in Europe. Even Liszt and Mendelssohn really praised her and admired her, and many other people did. So Clara's father thought, oh, no less than a prince would make a good husband to my daughter. So he was really furious, and as soon as he found out that the two want to get married, he just took Clara on a tour and said that you cannot see this man anymore, and you even cannot write him any letters. So this would be actually a good content for this wonderful piece, first loss. Of course, these two lovebirds were heartbroken, but being romantic at heart, this separation actually served as a new fuel to their love, so their love became even stronger. Luckily, this story eventually became a happy one, so the two got married and they had 8 children together. So let's pause right here and turn back to a sad part, right? When Clara and Schumann were away and were separated, and they didn't know what's going to happen to them and to their love and to their relationship. Let's talk a little bit more about the music and what we can do with it. So I think this piece would be appropriate for someone who studies piano for maybe about a year or two, depending on their level of skills. So when we work with young musicians like this, I highly recommend not to overwhelm them with too many musical tasks when we're working on a piece like this, because actually it's so beautiful and gorgeous. There could be many things, many details to look at, but it could be a bit difficult for a young mind. So what kind of goals should we set to our students, and through those goals we can achieve a very nice performance? I think one of those would be to focus on diminuendos. It's actually harder to play diminuendo than to play a crescendo. So this piece has a lot of opportunity for a nice diminuendo, even in the very beginning. See, it's a descending line, right? Descending phrase when all the notes go down. And this piece is full of descending intonations. And what does it mean? Kind of means like a disappointment, sadness, right? And we talk about how Clara and Schumann are really suffering from their separation. Let's look a little bit more closely to those descending lines. So this is the first one, second one, and then third one. So the second and third intonations are very short. It's just a 2-note intonation. And then it's a long phrase also that goes down. Diminuendo. This is a question, right? This sounds like a question. So you can work with a student trying to really listen to those descending intonations. Second goal, I think that would be pretty nice here, is a balance, to work on a balance between voices. So we have first voice that's played by right hand. It's a melody, and we can say this is Clara's voice, right? Because it's higher, it's a female voice. And left hand is playing something like this. It's really not an accompaniment in a sense of a background. It's actually also a musical line that contributes to overall texture. And I think it's Schumann, it's Robert's voice, right? That's played by left hand. We can imagine that Clara is talking, right? She's telling us a story. And Schumann say, I know. Oh yes, right? Oh, he just nods. But he is listening. So he is not interrupting her, right? So it shouldn't be like this, right? That's not good. And then actually there are moments when Robert have an opportunity to speak up a little bit more. It happens in the middle section here, right? So he just says something a little bit more, a little longer, and then next phrase. And here it's a beautiful moment, my favorite moment in the piece, when actually Robert takes the line from Clara's story. Right, same melody, and then you can continue and give preference to left hand. Again, diminuendo, right? There's so many descending lines. And third goal that we can set for this piece would be to really try to understand the nature of the ending of this piece, because the ending is so unusual. All of a sudden it's forte, there are many accents, it's written with chords, kind of sounds really heavy. So it actually was very typical of Schumann to finish with something so so different from what was happening before. Let's look at this ending. And then again, diminuendo. So we can first ask the student, what does it mean, right? What does this ending mean? Maybe it's so strong, it's like we are making a decision. No matter what, we're going to fight for our love, right? Clara and Schumann may be thinking of that. So maybe something like this, full of determination. And we can ask the student to work on the accents, right? To work on freedom of hands, because it still needs to sound beautiful, even though it's forte and it's kind of a bit more strong. So I think that would be great for a third goal, and it will make the whole piece sound complete. I truly believe that these kind of pieces are absolutely necessary for the developing of the skills of young musicians. So please include those in your students' programs, and have fun working with them, and try to engage the students through a story, which will help them to be a little bit more patient as they work on slow and lyrical pieces. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.